why do I have to read this week's Parashat Achrei every year about all this incest? It's not relevant to me, theoretically. Before we answer the question, we have to understand, what is Kedusha? If you go to some videos out there of the previous generation's rabbis, or you go to the books that were written by real tzaddikim, many from previous generations, you'll understand what Kedusha is, 1, 2, 3. Today it's a little more confusing, because people tell you, enjoy life. That's going to make you holy. Be happy. That's going to make you holy. Do mitzvahs. That's going to make you holy. Don't kill anybody. You're on the way to holiness. What about the issues of morality? Yeah, that too. That too. That too. Don't do anything bad. Don't do anything like what it says. Don't be with your mom and your sister. What, I really have to teach you that? Well, apparently, Rabbi Meir Balanes and Rabbi Tarfon missed the shiur. Because they're saying, yeah, you have to remind me every year. So first we have to know, what is Kedusha? Parashat Kedoshim, next week's parasha in America, it's already this week's parasha in Israel. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to Moshe, וידבר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל כל עדת בני ישראל, ואמרת עליהם, קדושים תהיו, כי קדוש אני, אדוני אלוהיכם. Hashem spoke to Moshe saying, speak to the entire assembly of the children of Israel, and say to them, you shall be holy, for holy am I, Hashem your God. Chachamim ask, why is HaKadosh Baruch Hu here adding a word? It says, Kol Edat Bnei Israel. Not just Daber Bnei Israel, speak to the children of Israel, but rather speak like Kol Edat, to everyone. Midrash Rabbah says, and says the Rambam, the Ramban, Rashi, everybody agrees. Because this pasuk is relevant to every single person that ever lived, before and after the pasuk. Every child, every adult, every teenager, everybody. The religious, the Baal Tshuva, the convert, everybody. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, you be holy, because I'm holy. So the Ramban wants to tell us what is holiness. What is this holiness? Why do we even need this holiness? Why is it being spoken to everybody like this? What's so special about it? So the Ramban says, first and foremost, know this. This pasuk, if you understand it, then you understand the Torah. If you don't, you have no shayachut whatsoever to the Torah. This pasuk, Kedoshim tiyu ki kadosh ani, is the foundation of the entire Torah. Because the vast majority of all of the laws of the Torah depend on this pasuk. Rashi says, what is Kedoshim? To be removed from forbidden sexual relationships and from any sin of similar immorality. For every place in the Torah that you find restriction of sexual immorality, you will find the mention of being holy, of Kedoshim. And the same goes, as a side note, society. Any society, any community where you see that the standard teachings are to be separated from immorality, to be removed from immorality, you will find yourself a holy community. Any community where morality is simply up for grabs, whoever defines it one way is right, everybody's right. One guy thinks he's moral because his boyfriend and him decide to have a son together. They're legally married, him and his boyfriend. So they're moral, according to him. And they're adopting Shmuli from the farm. But they're going to change his name to Shmuel because they want to be moral. Then you have another lady, she's also moral, according to her. It's only her 6th husband in the last 5 years. She's very moral. She even covers her hair. Very moral. Just so happened that she can't get along with any guy. And she somehow finds guys to marry her very quickly. It's miraculous. The entire world has a shidduch problem, but she finds a husband every year. Amazing. Very moral. Everybody thinks morality is whatever you... Rashi says, morality is something extraordinary. Why? Because morality is one of the fundamentals that are required in order to achieve holiness. Any place where there are teachings of morality, especially when it comes to sexuality, where they teach you to separate yourself from promiscuity and from all the garbage of the world, that place will have holiness. Any place where people can wear whatever they want, be whatever they want, do whatever they want, no holiness whatsoever. Simple. If you are finding yourself in a community where the rabbi's wife is wearing no arms, no legs, you have found yourself an immoral place. If you're in a community where the rabbi talks about tikkun habrit, talks about morality, talks about all the things that this parasha talks about, you have found yourself a good community. Simple. And you'll also find that the rabbi that speaks about morality and scares people somehow always tends to have a more modest keilah. It's always the coincidence that the one that speaks the truth always happens to have the best tzaddikim. And the one that pretends like he's speaking the truth, but he tells you can do whatever you want, just don't kill anybody, or at least don't get caught, somehow nobody covers their hair or their body or anything else. So Rashi says this Kedusha has to do with morality. Think and make sure to share it because other people need to learn too.